Alyssa Moore was 24 years old. To the world, she was just another influencer. A pretty face on TikTok, a smile on Instagram, and a life that looked perfect. She had nearly 1 million followers who watched her dance, laugh, share skincare routines, and give life advice. But behind the filter, something was wrong. Those closest to Alyssa knew she had changed. She wasn't sleeping much. She jumped at small sounds. She kept her phone in her hand constantly, not for scrolling, but for checking. She never said it out loud, not fully, but her eyes told the story. She was scared. All the time. At first, it was just messages. Innocent, almost flattering. You looked amazing tonight. I was behind you in line today. She thought it was a random troll. She blocked the account and moved on. But the messages kept coming. New accounts. New names. Same voice. You didn't lock your door last night. I saw the way you looked at him. You shouldn't. Alyssa started confiding in her best friend Mia. Mia would later tell police. She felt like someone was watching her all the time. She even started covering her windows at night, and she hated the dark. The change was slow, but steady. Alyssa stopped going to parties. She stopped filming outdoors. She stopped smiling for real. But the scariest part? Even with all her fame, all her reach, and all her followers, no one saw the signs. No one thought this would end in murder. At first, Alyssa thought she was being paranoid. But then, the messages got specific. Nice grocery run today. Strawberries again. That red hoodie you wore this morning. I like it. The kind of things no one could know, unless they were watching her in real life. She started noticing small things. Her car door was slightly open one night, and she was sure she had locked it. Once, she came home to find her bedroom window unlocked, even though she hadn't opened it in weeks. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was broken. It was worse than theft. Someone had been there, and left without a trace. She went to the police. Twice. They told her the same thing both times. No threat, no suspect, no action. She was told to stay alert, document everything, and not overthink it. But it wasn't just in her head. One day, while adjusting her bedroom lamp, she noticed something strange. A tiny black dot, tucked into the base, barely visible. It wasn't dirt. It was a camera. A hidden microlens. Wi-Fi enabled. Motion activated. Facing directly toward her bed. Her stomach dropped. Whoever was watching her had already been inside her home. She moved out the next day, into a short-term rental across town. No Instagram check-ins. No stories. No address leaks. But even then, the messages followed her. Nice new place. Cozier. I like it. He was still watching. And she was running out of places to hide. May 13, 2020. A Thursday night. Alyssa hadn't posted in 4 days. Her fans noticed. Around 11:42 p.m., she suddenly went live on Instagram. No caption. No warning. She appeared on screen, sitting on her couch, dim lights in the background, wearing a black hoodie. She looked tired but calm. She smiled faintly at the camera. Hey, just wanted to check in. Haven't been feeling great lately. At first, it felt like any other late-night stream. A few hundred people tuned in. Comments started rolling. Where have you been? You okay? Queen, we missed you. But something was off. Her eyes kept shifting toward the front door. Her smile faded when certain noises echoed in the background, like a soft creak or a thud. At one point, she froze mid-sentence. Did you hear that? She got up and walked out of frame. You could hear faint footsteps. The sound of a door locking. Then silence. 30 seconds later, she returned. She sat back down, looked at the screen, and whispered, "If something happens to me, please tell them I said it was him." Her voice cracked on the word him. Viewers flooded the chat. Wait, what? Is this real? Is she acting? She stared into the screen, eyes wide, and then looked behind her. And whispered 2 words. He's here. The stream glitched. The image broke into pixels. You could hear something, a knock, a scream, or maybe just breathing. Then the phone fell. The camera tilted sideways, showing nothing but the edge of a table. And then darkness. Live stream ended. No sound. No movement. No Alyssa. The live stream ended just after midnight. Over 1,300 people had watched it. For the first few minutes, the comments were confused. Some thought it was a prank. Others were impressed. This is the best horror skit I've ever seen. She's so good at acting, wow.
It's fake, chill.
She'll be back in a minute.
No one called the police.
No one messaged her directly.
They just moved on.
The stream was deleted, either by Alyssa or someone else. By morning, the hashtags had already changed. People were back to scrolling, liking, laughing.
Until 7:18 a.m.
A neighbor in Alyssa's apartment building called 911. They had noticed blood pooling under her front door. When police entered the unit, the scene was quiet, almost peaceful. Alyssa's body was found in the living room.
Face down.
No signs of a struggle.
No forced entry. Phone? Missing. Laptop?
Smashed into pieces. The room was eerily clean.
Too clean.
Almost as if someone had prepared it to look that way. When news broke, the internet exploded. Wait, was that real? I saw that stream. I thought she was kidding.
Oh my God.
I watched her die and did nothing.
It was too late.
She had warned them. She had begged, in her own way, for someone to believe her. But no one. Alyssa's murder shook the internet. What everyone thought was a hoax was real. And now, it was up to the detectives to figure out who did it. There were no fingerprints. No signs of forced entry. No weapon. But the killer made one mistake. Police recovered a backup of Alyssa's phone data from her cloud account. Inside it was a trail. Dozens of deleted messages.
Screenshots. Voice memos.
And a folder Alyssa had secretly named Creepy DMs, in case something happens. She had been documenting everything. One IP address showed up multiple times, an anonymous account that had accessed her social media from a nearby location. It didn't belong to a stranger from another city. It was someone living just 3 blocks away. A man named Ethan Cole. 29 years old.
Unemployed. Lived alone.
No criminal record. But when police searched his apartment, the horror became real. In his closet, they found a box. Inside, dozens of printed photos of Alyssa. A piece of fabric from her old hoodie. A lipstick she'd mentioned once in a video. And a tiny handwritten note that said, "You were always mine. You just didn't know it yet." Ethan had been following her online for over a year. Multiple fake profiles.
Different names.
He commented, liked, messaged, and waited. In interviews, neighbors said they had often seen him outside at night, just standing, staring at Alyssa's building. He had watched her every move, digitally and physically. And on May 13th, he made his move. When police brought Ethan Cole in for questioning, he didn't resist. He didn't even look nervous. He sat down, smiled, and said, "I knew you'd find me. I wanted you to." Detectives were stunned. Ethan wasn't confused or insane.
He was calm, calculated, and completely obsessed.
He admitted everything. He had been watching Alyssa for over a year. Studying her routines. Her videos. Her live streams. He followed her in real life. He learned her building layout. He used fake food deliveries to access her floor. He knew where her cameras were, and where they weren't. "She was mine," he said. "Everyone else just borrowed her. I was the only one who really saw her." The night of the livestream, he had been hiding inside her apartment for over an hour. Waiting. He told police he planned to make it quick and peaceful. He didn't expect her to go live. He didn't care. He said he was glad people watched. They watched her die, and no one helped. Just like I thought. The most chilling part? He had planned to upload the video, her murder, to a private online group. But the livestream crashed before the act. The blackout saved the world from seeing something far worse. Still, Ethan had no regret. She was meant to be with me. And now she is. Alyssa Moore's death became global news. People couldn't believe it. An influencer live-streamed her own murder. And the world watched, did nothing, and scrolled on. The backlash was immediate. Thousands of users came forward saying they had seen the stream. Most thought it was fake. A few admitted they were scared, but didn't want to overreact. No one called for help. The guilt hit hard. Her fans created hashtags like #JusticeForAlyssa and #BelieveTheSigns. Candlelight vigils were held outside her apartment. Even celebrities posted tributes, calling her death a digital age failure. But the truth was already written. Alyssa knew she was in danger. She tried to speak. She dropped hints. She even told the camera, He's here.
No one believed her.
Because it looked like a show. Because people assume. If it's on a screen, it must be fake. Her case opened a national discussion about stalking, online safety, and how easy it is to ignore real danger when it's dressed up as content.
But for Alyssa Moore,
the discussion came too late. She live-streamed her own murder. And the internet thought it was just another video. If you or someone you know is being stalked,
don't ignore it.
Don't wait for proof. Don't wait for something bad to happen. Take every message seriously. Trust your gut.
Speak up.
And most importantly, believe people when they say they're scared. Alyssa tried to speak.
She gave us every sign.
But no one listened, until it was too late. You could be the reason someone survives.
Stay safe. Stay aware.
And never ever assume it's just content.